What's up, guys? Crypto Muser here with your daily news and analysis in the crypto markets. It's been a while. It's been almost a week. I'm in Italy right now. It's been hard to find internet connection where I've been at. I missed my boy Crypto Lifer stream for about 5 days now. I finally got on there for a second this afternoon or this morning over on the East Coast of the United States. I am 6 hours ahead of the Eastern Standard Time in the States, so I'm kind of been trying to get used to that, but I'm finally getting a video out to you guys. There's been some big news coming out of the XRP versus Ripple, or Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. XRP up about 16% today. Now it's back, got up to about 38 cents, 39 cents, back down to 36, but good to see. Definitely good to see. XRP Bitcoin chart looking mighty juicy, I must say. But just want to give you guys this. I was in Siena, Italy yesterday, and I can't say this enough. What a beautiful country. This country is unbelievable. I am Italian. My father's 100% Italian, third generation. He's never been to Italy. So we finally, had the time to do it. We just sold our house back in East Coast on Martha's Vineyard. So finally had a month to get out here and see Italy. We've been to Siena, Venice, Florence. As you know, I'm the Crypto Muser. I just saw a Muse concert in Florence last week. It's been amazing, but haven't been able to come on and make a video in a while. So it's good to get on here. So before I get on, if you guys could please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, it'd be very much appreciated. But let's get right into it. So I think it was yesterday, the day before, Charles Hoskinson, CEO, or I guess he's a CEO or founder of Cardano and also co-founder of Ethereum, was in the hearing, with Congress. I believe it was yesterday. I want to say, my days are all mixed up, but I believe it was yesterday. He went on there, and I saw some clips, and I just got to say, Charles Hoskinson, the way that man articulates himself, especially around crypto and regulation and this new technology, is really unbelievable. You could tell that a lot of the Congress people that were asking him questions, they definitely learned a lot from him. And also Chris Brummer was there. Also, I forget what media outlet he works for, but he's been, within crypto for the last 6 or 7 years. Always gives great interviews. He also gave some great content out there for these Congress people. So it was great to have Charles Hoskinson really give these Congress people some education on the ins and outs of this new crypto asset class and what good things this new technology can do for the new financial system, right? If we get some real regulation passed by Congress, hopefully by the end of this year, maybe early next year, we could start leading in the U.S. in this new technology. And as most people know, we are lagging behind most major countries in crypto. So just definitely implore you guys, check out the video clips on YouTube of him educating these Congress people, because it really was something else. So let's get on to the Ripple SEC stuff. So first off, Ripple, they're not going anywhere, guys. If anybody out there that holds XRP, or maybe even on Link2 you can get pre-IPO Ripple shares, Ripple is going to be here for the long run. If there was ever a company, a crypto company especially, that we know has a solidified future, it's Ripple, and they're showing it right now. They just opened up a new Canadian office, then they just hired, I believe, 35 engineers right off the bat. We're looking to hire 50 new employees in the area, eventually expanding to hundreds of technical positions. So they're looking for 50 off the bat. They just hired 35, I believe. Brad Garlinghouse said that in an interview today. So I mean, they're growing. They have a. I believe they just opened up an office in Miami. They opened up a second office, I believe, in San Francisco. I mean, they're growing everywhere. And anybody that says that they're leaving the United States, it seems like I don't want to say they know 100% sure, but I think most of us know 100% sure that they're going to win this case against the SEC. And they're kind of showing their strength by, continuing to grow their business. And even in the U.S., I mean, if they really thought they had any chance of losing in the U.S., you wouldn't see them opening up more offices around the area. You'd see them, moving over to Switzerland or UK or something, and they are opening offices over there too. But you don't see them abandoning the US, and why would they, right? The US is obviously the biggest market in the world. That's why this SEC lawsuit is such a sham, because it's really, hindering Ripple's business, and obviously hindering XRP, because they're not just the whole mess up thing about this case is they're not just going after Ripple, they're going after XRP holders themselves, right? The whole reason why John Deaton is in this lawsuit against the SEC, and 68, I believe he just said 68,100 people signed on to the lawsuit. He was, John Deaton, when they came out with this lawsuit against Ripple, he wrote the SEC, said, let us know you're just going after Ripple, right? You're not just going after all of XRP. The XRP, the token itself, can't be a security, right? Like, you can't be coming after XRP traders on the secondary market. And the SEC said, no, yes, we are. We actually think that the XRP token itself is a security, and yes, even XRP holders themselves have been breaking the law, I guess, the securities laws. So that's why John Deaton started the whole lawsuit, was because the SEC wouldn't clarify the fact that they were just going after Ripple, but they said they were going after the XRP token itself, and that it was a security, and even that XRP holders, right, us that bought XRP years ago, right, it traded on the open market for 8+ years, and I guess we were buying shares of Ripple the whole time. We were buying XRP, and that's the whole sham of this lawsuit. Like, obviously, when I bought XRP, I knew I wasn't buying shares of Ripple. So it's just great to see that Ripple is expanding, and creating or building out their business, right? They're expanding to Canada, they've expanded to the UK, and all around the world. It seems like they just are not stopping. And you see, you've seen other crypto companies saying they're going to lay off employees in the coming months, and Ripple's doing the opposite. They're hiring because they were set up for this. They knew it was going to happen. They knew that these markets move in cycles, and that there would be a bear market coming soon, and they planned for it, right? And that's what a smart company would do, right? So Brad Garlinghouse was very busy this past week, and I have an interview here first talking about the expansion into Toronto, and Crypto Eddie actually tweeted this out. Canada is super lucky to have Ripple Engineering Hub in Toronto. Mr. Garlinghouse on Bloomberg today. Excuse me. Two innovative companies that get my sincere support. Spend the Bits and Liquid Market are both from Canada too. Imagine that. Now listen to this quick minute and a half snippet of Brad Garlinghouse.
But for the industry leaders, the show goes on. Ripple, which operates one of the biggest cryptocurrencies, XRP, is expanding in Canada with an office in Toronto and a plan to bulk up its engineering team. Ripple CEO is longtime tech executive Brad Garlinghouse, who joins us now. Brad, good morning to you.
John, good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Your company's been in the game longer than most. How would you describe this moment for the crypto industry?
Well, I think like several other moments of the crypto industry, you have a very early industry growing quickly, and you're going to have pullbacks. You and I both witnessed firsthand the earliest days of the internet, kind of Web 1.0, and certainly we saw some pretty dramatic shifts there where the e-toys and the pets.com died, but that doesn't mean that the technologies that underlie those weren't successful. We have obviously some of the most profitable, some of the most valuable companies on the planet now born in that era. And one of the things that's really changed, I think, is tech talent. Really, there's kind of I don't want to call it a monopoly, but a lot of concentration in Silicon Valley, and that is not true today. The tech talent you have here in Toronto is really outstanding. Between Waterloo University, the Toronto Metropolitan University, you have some amazing engineers, some talent that we want to bring into the blockchain and crypto industry. So Ripple announced we're building our first Canadian office here in Toronto with a plan to, as quickly as possible, hire 50 engineers here locally. We're really excited about it, and so far the reception has been really, really strong.
And I like how he said that, and I think a lot of people have been talking about the fact that this looks a lot like this crypto crash right now, looks a lot like the internet bubble crash, right, in the early 2000s, where, it seemed like, we grew from, 5,000 cryptos to about 20,000 in about a year and a half, and that's just not sustainable. I mean, you need to be really and I've had this argument with a couple of my friends about this, but how many cryptos do you think are going to be around in about 5 to 10 years? And I said, maybe a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 at the most. My friend seems to think there's going to be even more than we have today. But if you think about it, back in the .com bubble, right? You just had .com companies coming left and right. You just put a .com at the end of it, and you had people buying into it. And what happened? The bubble burst, right? And it seems to be very similar to what just happened with crypto. We had so many crypto coins, like I said, 20,000 plus crypto coins. We had pump and dump schemes, obviously, scams all over the place. You're seeing with this crash, with the Celsius, we call it a scam or whatever you want to call it. I've seen BitBoy tweet out some crazy stuff about what's happening with Celsius. So it's like you're going to have this type of thing when there's just such a crazy amount of coins and just pump and dumps and scams everywhere. And it almost needed to happen, this big crash, to kind of weed out the weak hands, right? Not only the investors, but the weak coins that shouldn't be out there, right? I don't want to name any because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but you obviously know that there's some coins that shouldn't exist, right? That shouldn't be out there. So I think in the next 5 to 10 years, for sure, that if you're not solving a real world problem, or you have a real use case, you're not going to be people aren't going to be buying into it, right? You're not going to survive this crypto winter, and especially if we have, and I'm hoping that we have real regulation coming in soon, that will kind of push back on those pump and dump schemes and those scams too, obviously. But the SEC, obviously, we know how they work. They don't care about the scams. They don't care about the pump and dumps. They want to go after legit companies like Ripple and Library, and now they're going after Binance. So it's like, they're really protecting investors. No, they're not. We know that they're protecting their own. They're protecting their banker buddies. They're protecting their institutions. The funny thing about all that is that they're going after a company like Ripple, but meanwhile, Ripple is being utilized by institutions all around the world, and it will be utilized for institutions in the U.S. after this lawsuit. So it's like, it makes no sense. It just makes zero sense, the fact that they go after a company, American company, like Ripple, that is not hurting any investors. They're not scamming anybody. They're just trying to basically change the world of payments. And if anybody looks at what Ripple is trying to do, it's a great thing. It actually helps the world, right? When you move value, like you can move information, that's a great thing for everybody. So it makes no sense that the SEC will go after Ripple in the first place. So, I could go off on the SEC right now, and I won't. That's for another day, but let's move on. So Brad Garlinghouse tweeted this out. If it loads, sorry, my internet's kind of bad here, so bear with me. A packed day at Collision HQ. Starting with Shen Lucinda, covering all things crypto winter culture, hiring the Ripple's new Toronto engineer hub, and ending with Glitchfield getting into the weeds on how the crypto industry and regulators can work together on sensible and clear policies. Now, I have a couple clips from this crypto conference they had in Toronto. John Deaton tweeted this about this one thing that Brad Garlinghouse said, which was very important. Think about this. The mission is for the SEC is to protect investors, right? I don't have 6 investors, not 60, not 600, not 6,000, not even just 60,000. Now it is 68,100 individuals, investors have asked me or asked to be heard. Gary Gensler has so much contempt for us that he didn't even have a low-level assistant respond. And that just, that boggles my mind sometimes too. That think about that for a second. 68,000 people. That's a lot of people. That, most huge stadiums around the world don't even hold that many people, right? That's how many people are basically asking the SEC to sue them. They want to join this lawsuit against the SEC. That's how much. It's well over 100,000, even 1 million investors that probably got hurt by the SEC during this lawsuit. But that's what we could use. Another 20 to 30,000 aside on this case, and I'm sure by the end of this case we probably will have about 100,000 people that signed up with John Deaton. But just think about that for a second. Not even a response from Gary Gensler and the SEC. Nothing. You're supposedly supposed to protect these investors, and you have nothing to say to these 68,000 investors that have signed on to this lawsuit. I mean, that's just unbelievable, right? That's what our country has become right now. It's unbelievable. So moving on here. Actually, hold on a sec. Let me play this video for you guys real quick.
In this case, you have almost 70,000 people who hold XRP in the United States who are trying to sue the SEC for harming them.
Right.
So, it's a little confusing why the SEC would spend a lot of time and energy on that when we do actually have some things happening in the market that maybe do deserve more scrutiny.
Right.
Exactly.
In this case, you have almost
Exactly. And the fact that Brad Garlinghouse just shouted out us, 68,000, almost 70,000 XRP investors that are suing the SEC shows you that they know we're here, right? They obviously know because we signed on to the lawsuit with John Deaton. But, I mean, the fact that they are not going after pump and dump schemes, they're not going after all the scams that we see all over this space, and they seem to be going after Ripple and hurting investors. It just boggles my mind that they think that we're not seeing what they're doing, right? That Gary Gensler can actually, with a straight face when he talks, can say, oh, yeah, it's all about the investor, right? It's all about the retail investor. That's all we care about. They could care less about the investor, right? Everything they're doing, and even, the next thing I have to say is, so Hester Peirce, a commissioner within the SEC, is even calling out Gary Gensler for being, not for the average investor, and is actually called him out and said that he's basically, let me read the exact quote so I don't get it wrong here. I mean, look what Hester Peirce said about Gary Gensler and the agenda of the SEC. We now focus on disclosure of hot button matters outside our remit. We once sought to protect retail investors. We now rush to the aid of professional investors. So what she's saying there is that the SEC is not caring about the average retail investor. They're actually caring about the big bankers, the big time investors, right? We've known that, right, forever, but it's just hearing a commissioner at the SEC basically, go against everything the SEC is trying to do right now and actually call out the SEC of what they're doing and what we've been saying. It's pretty unbelievable. And, Hester Peirce has always had a lot to say, and she's also, held her tongue in some instances where we wish she would have said something. But, yeah, these are bold statements that she's making here. So power to her for calling out the SEC's agenda, calling out Gary Gensler. And hopefully this, stirs something up here with Congress or within the SEC, because I think that, obviously the retail investors are against Gary Gensler here. And, even within the SEC, they're against Gary Gensler. And even past videos I've shown you that there's been a mass exodus from the SEC with people that have disagreed with the SEC's agenda and with Gary Gensler. So just not looking very good for Gary Gensler. And especially after these midterm elections, I don't see him lasting the year for sure. Even Eleanor Tourette, Fox Business reporter, tweeted this out. I think Hester Peirce would agree with Senator Toomey on this one. And Senator Toomey actually had a lot to say about Gary Gensler and his agenda. Following an excellent panel with Senator Loomis, Senator Gillibrand, and Patrick McHenry and Senator Toomey, tells me, this is Toomey who said this, I'm very concerned that Gary Gensler is pushing the limits of the SEC's authority. I think this new proposed rule on climate disclosure is wildly beyond what has ever been contemplated at the SEC's responsibility. I also think that he has claimed that virtually all crypto assets are securities without explaining how and why that is. Regulation by enforcement is a terrible approach. Hearing these words from a congressman like Congressman Toomey here gives me some hope that we do get legislation through. Maybe not this year, but early next year, especially if the midterms go in the Republicans' way, which it seems like it is, because Pat Toomey here call out the SEC's agenda and call out the hypocrisy at the SEC. For them to say that every crypto is a security just so that they can have say on how to regulate this new asset class makes no sense. It's just it's obvious power grab, and hopefully, these type of words from a congressman, and then obviously, like I just had before, we have Congress people, we have people within the SEC, we have retail investors, we have, Charles Hoskinson, who, like I said in the beginning of the video, going out in front of Congress telling, basically saying that the U.S. is falling behind here. We got to, step up our game, get some real, real clarity in the market and real clarity in the regulation in the U.S. to really start leading in this technology. And the SEC is the only one that's really holding us back. CFTC seems like they know what's going on, and they're pretty organized in what they want to do. It's the SEC that is and we know why, because they're working on behalf of Wall Street and the bankers, and they don't like this new asset class, right? And at this point, it's almost like they want to crash the market so they can buy at a lower price. I mean, and it was same thing happened during the dot-com boom and the bubble. It was like the average retail investor was invested in this new dot-com, the new internet companies, but they crashed the market, the bubble burst, and then all the retail investors got wrecked. And then who scooped up all the cheap tech stocks? It was the institutional Wall Street big time investors that made millions upon millions in the next couple of years after the dot-com bubble burst, right? So same type of thing happening here. Would it surprise me for them to crash the market so they could, get cheap prices on these cryptos that obviously have a future? No, it wouldn't surprise me, and it's probably happening. But I guess I will end the video there. Trying to do my best to get on here. We've had some big news come out in the last couple of days, so I've been trying to get on and really just put out a video. We have some, I believe, some briefs in the case coming out early next week, so I'll try to get a video out probably Monday or Tuesday. But doing my best with the internet I have in Italy here. But thank you guys, and please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything I write or say as financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.